What's good, y'all? It's your boy Cam. Today we are going to be reacting to a video. Let's get straight to it, man. Let's get straight to it. So the video's title is "This Producer Thinks Making 4K a Month is Poor."
What's poppin', yo? They decided to cook that man, that producer, Sonny Digital, who's also a rapper. I think he got signed to Generation Now, which is the same record label that Uzi's been on. He's worked with that record label for a very long time, but as a rapper, that's a different story. And he's been trying to make him being a rapper into a career for quite a while. But he said something the other day that got all of Twitter X turning against him, and that had to do with money. First off, he started off, and this is all September 22nd. This has been going on for several days now. And he said, "I hate that people think Spotify monthly listeners defines people's career. Do you know how easy it is to buy fake streams? Furthermore, if some of these people were really streaming crazy like how y'all think, then why nobody in real life know these people?" This is where you get out of touch, delusional, and hell, it could be a lot more than that. Because he retweeted somebody saying, "Man, millions of streams cannot get hard ticket sales." Well, let's just take Russ as an example. Every time you see a post from him, or not from him, about him on a traditional hip hop page, they're all saying, "Never met a single person that listens to this guy. Who even knows who this guy is? Never heard of him. Never heard anyone play a Russ song." So yet he's got the numbers, and he's got people in his shows selling hard tickets across the world. It's just people not getting out of their own bubble and thinking the world.
People gonna pop out for us. I don't know any people in person like that I know with my circle, but niggas fuck with Russ. And shout out Sonny Digital too.
Is smaller than it is. There are artists that are making a killing that we have never heard of. Like, for example, what's an example of these guys? If you guys know who they are, Neffix, Neffex. Dude, nobody in hip-hop knows about these guys. I mean, there's probably going to be like 3 people in the comments that know about them. Or I think they were a duo and now it's one guy or something. These guys are feasting on music. They're making more money off of music than your favorite rapper. You've never heard of them. And they don't really do shows like that. And they're streaming, and the streams are real, and people are fans of them. That's just one example. I could bring up 15 examples, if not more, if I just took the time to pull them out. I'm just pulling stuff out the top of my head. Let's just take another example. There was this rapper called Jake Hill. He's got, what do you call it? I don't even think and some of these people have never done shows, and they don't care to do shows.
Y'all listen to that new Jake Hill album, Jake Hill? Nobody? Jake Hill, y'all listen to him? No?
Yeah, this guy Jake Hill, he's got 1.6 million monthly listeners. He's got multiple songs with hundreds of millions of streams. He's got, I think, one song with 200 million, and these are real streams. He's consistently had these numbers for years, and the YouTube numbers also follow it. And he has another profile, I believe, where he makes country music that's got like 500 or 600,000 monthly listeners. So this guy's doing, and he has, I think, another artist profile called, I think it's Lil Revive. Is that it? I don't know. But this guy's got different artist like personas and styles of music that he does. And overall, he's got maybe like 3 million monthly listeners. I don't think this guy's ever done a show. I don't know if he will ever do a show because he doesn't have to. So
Not bullshitting though. He got multiple different personas, nigga.
this is 2 examples, and nobody's ever heard of these guys. And like I said, I can keep bringing up examples. And this is just rap. These guys are rappers. Sonny Digital then goes on to say something completely false and says, "Let's just say I got 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. That's only about $4,000 a month. That's having motion? Well, you're getting a lot. You're getting more. It depends on the split, but let's
look at that number. 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify is about 4 bands a month. Hold on, let me go to my sources. Okay. Now, you gotta break it down though. Like, I don't know if they finna reiterate on this in the video, but chances are, like, if you getting 4K just from Spotify, right? There's a chance that you probably finna goddamn get like another however many grand from Apple Music, YouTube, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably gonna walk away with like 7 however many bands, right? In my opinion, bro, they do need to pay more per stream to artists because like that's kind of exploiting their talent. But in my opinion, if you making 4K here, 3K here, yeah, you probably walking away with like 7 to 10 bands if you getting 1 million streams on Spotify, which is that a lot of money to you? 7 to 10 bands a lot of money to you?
Well, you're getting a lot. You're getting more. It depends on the split, but let's say that the what's being generated by 1 million monthly listeners, the revenue is a lot more than $4,000. Maybe he's talking about 1 million streams, but that just goes to show Sonny Digital is in music. This guy's been a producer. This guy is a rapper, and he thinks 1 million monthly listeners is about $4,000 a month. And then yeah, somebody says 1 million monthly is more than 4K. Maybe 1 mil on one song is 4K, but I had 400K monthly listeners at one point and had a $10,000 check in my.
Damn, Tony Snow said that? Okay. Yeah. See, that's kind of that was my point. That was my point. But at the end of the day, bro, it's really like, is that a lot of money to you? You know what I'm saying? And that's my last time, like, pausing the video. I'm finna let this bitch just rock through. But is that a lot of money to you? And should they be paying more per stream? That's really what I feel like niggas is getting at, bro. And I feel like that's kind of like where musicians and where we have to step up and, determine what the value of a stream is rather than them determine the value what the stream is. We gotta motherfucking fight the power, y'all. We gotta motherfucking I don't know how we gonna do it because Spotify make a lot of fucking money, bro. Spotify make more money than everybody watching this video right now's whole generational worth put together times 10 times 10.
DistroKid. And then he says DistroKid doesn't just pay out for Spotify. Remember, all streaming platforms are put into one check. So while what you saying may be true, you have to account for Apple Music, Tidal, Napster. Tidal and Napster ain't paying you a damn thing. Deezer ain't paying you a damn thing, especially if you're not a French artist or from one of the regions that stream through there. I mean, what is he talking about? It's mostly Spotify and Apple Music. So that is what it is. And then he talks about some people Apple Music doing crazy. So he's just coping right now. He doesn't want to admit that he's wrong about the Spotify monthly listeners number. I know. He said, don't be fooled and think people are living off of 1 million monthly listeners. There are people living off of 250,000 monthly listeners. This guy is he's so out of touch, and you got to keep in mind, Sonny Digital came into the game not only as a producer, but he came into the game when money was getting flung around. I don't think Sonny Digital
Dog shit. I'm talking about them boy were making dog shit for them beats, bro.
wants to accept the reality that there are artists that are not doing shows, they're not collaborating with other people, they're just in their room and they are making bread. And they are living off of less than 1 million monthly listeners. And then this is the thing, when he talks about people paying for streams, what incentive does somebody have to bot streams, which is paying an expense for years upon years upon years? There is no incentive. Now, why do and this is the funny part, big artists that everybody knows are the most incentivized to bot streams because it just makes them bigger and they're already popping and nobody thinks that they would do it. Like, you botting streams isn't going to make you more discoverable. That's not how the discovery algorithm works on Spotify. It doesn't push you for, having it does like on Viral 50 and things like that, but on those charts, they're looking up the numbers and they're, this doesn't add up. This is not
Fucking faceless YouTubers, bro. Has bro showed his face yet? Off topic, just completely off topic. Like, do we know what this nigga looks like, bro? No, we don't know what this man looks like.
Spotify. It doesn't push you for, having it does like on Viral 50 and things like that, but on those charts, they're looking up the numbers and they're, this doesn't add up. This is not popping anywhere else. Where are people finding this song? And
for Spotify would be so lit, bro. If I got like a job at Spotify or some shit like that, bro, I would pop the most impeccable shit ever because, like, nigga, I'm working for fucking Spotify, bro. Shout out Spotify as well.
it would likely remove it. So
Like 9 monthly listeners on Spotify.
that's all it goes. And then I would say that is having motion. Well, getting 1 million people to listen to your music and 1 million unique people to listen to your music, that is motion. Absolutely. 100,000 is motion, depending on how long it's been since that person started making music. And then a fan responds. And what I do like is that he is having a back and forth conversation with his followers. And somebody says, we're going to reach a point where doing anything isn't valid enough. Like, imagine making $4K a month off music and finding a complaint about it. He says, again, y'all missing the greater point as always. Y'all are cool with getting paid pennies on the penny while having maximum exposure. I thought it wasn't having motion. I thought that wasn't maximum exposure. Anyway, making 4K for 1 million streams isn't motion and just robbery. Well, sure, you can believe that, but the market dictates that right now, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And he's not attempting to do anything about it. That's the thing. Like, if Sunny Digital's model, and this is the thing too, like, there are people that are making more than that. Like, for example, Taylor Swift, she sells 1 million copies, and this is the thing. What is a stream worth? A stream is somebody deciding to click on your music and listen to it, maybe for free. Why would that be worth anything? Why would that be worth more? Why was it worth more back then? Because somebody bought a CD and they put down cash. That was, let's say, $10. So that's worth $10, a CD. But when they pay $10, maybe $11, who knows how much Spotify's increasing, how much they charge, let's say 10, 11, $12 for all of the music that is out there, well, what happens? It shrinks the value of each of the individual songs. And that's how we get to where we're at. And there's really nothing that you can do about it other than maybe insulate yourself from it by charging for stuff. But then,
you know what? Everybody, instead of uploading to motherfucking Spotify and Apple Music, bro, we just finna, see this? Fuck it. It doesn't exist anymore. We're just gonna go back to CDs and motherfucking vinyls, my nigga. And we gonna really get the most value out of this shit. It might cost more to make. It might cost more to put the beat and the song on the CD. Nah. But hear me out, bro. We sell them bitches for $1. And that's all you gotta do is just take everybody's phone and just say, you know what? No more phones, nigga. You just gonna plug that bitch in wherever you at, and you gonna have to listen to that shit, bro. I feel like I was born in the wrong generation, bro. Like, if I was an old nigga or like a 20-year-old, like 20 years ago, bro, I would have been motherfucking one of them ones, bro. Let's go back to the video. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Are people really willing to pay for your stuff? That's a hard lesson that some of these rappers learn. And this turns into a conversation about $4,000 a month. That's what this turns into. And it was this tweet that set it all off. He says, that's making a living, bro, about the 4K. And he said, 4K a month as a grown man is not making a living, bro. That's just surviving in 2025. That's how you know this person is completely out of touch. $4,000 a month is a living for the majority of people. And it's like you're able to survive. Now, I will say that $4,000 a month right now is not what it was 5 years ago. Definitely not what it was 10 years ago. You gotta make sure you pay attention. It's also the type of lifestyle that you want to live. But Sunny Digital's been getting so much money, or he's been getting more than $4,000 a month for a very long time. Who knows? Maybe there were stretches when he was getting less. I don't know, because he's got songs that continue to stream and produce him money. He's got publishing and all that other stuff. But he goes on to say, y'all think 4K a month is making a living as a grown man in 2025? I know it all varies depending on the situations. But if we're talking about basic necessities, y'all really think 4K a month as a grown man is making a living? He asks the question 2 times as if it's going to change the answer. Yes, it is. Rent or mortgage, car, insurance, food, bills, your significant other if you have one. Why should that be an expense? Some people, it's not an expense. It's actually added money that they're bringing together. Like, where do you get ahead at? Well, you don't really get ahead. You live. Like, people live on far less than that. The thing is,
what I think bro was trying to say is you're just kind of like floating. Like, you're afloat, which is not like, it's good when you're young to be afloat, but like once you start getting to that like 25, 26, 27, 28, you kind of want to start making that shit stack. And that's the age of a lot of these people who's, it's 2 sides to every story is basically what I'm saying, bro.
Is rent. People, that's why I said it depends where people live. Car could be paid off. Food, and then what bill? I feel like he named bills and then says bills. Like rent, car, insurance are bills. Or he's talking about utilities, but those don't even really cost much to name as something else. So he says bills, and people argue with him. He said that's $48K a year. more than most people in America are making. People touch money and lose all sense of reality. And he says, y'all forget you have to spend money to live. Dog, what? And then another rapper, Mickey Fax, talks about it and says, most grown men make 4K and less, and they are surviving. He says, surviving and making a living are two different things, my boy. So what is making a living? That's the real question. Because there are people that make more money than Sonny Digital that would laugh at the amount that they're saying that guy's just surviving. So at what point? I just need to hear that from Sonny Digital. What number does it stop being surviving and it starts being living? And then some.
My opinion, living off of music, like making a stupid dog shit off of music, would be like if you can pull in like, I don't know. There's people who make $1 million in a month, bro. And it's not only just for music. Why are we losing the plot? Why? And honestly, I think this whole video is just covering this whole argument that spilled into something completely different from a post, which probably had good intentions. But yeah, I don't know.
Somebody tells him, sit down for a few months in a row and you'll be good. And he says, I didn't realize how many broke grown men were just happily surviving day by day with no motivation to get more. There's a lot of projecting going on by Sonny Digital. Now I see what these women be talking about. Y'all don't even have no ambition to get more. Y'all so used to settling for less than 4K. That seems like a lot of money as a grown man. This is the thing. Nobody said that they didn't want more. They just said that 4K was livable. It's more than the average or the mean. I think it's actually less now. Isn't the median like 60K or something? Either way, globally, it is a lot. But I don't think you can take global numbers because a lot of people's income is tied to their location. So maybe someone is top 1% or 10% globally if they make 50K USD. But if they can only make the 50K USD in the US, then that global number doesn't matter. Now, if the person can make 50K USD annually remotely, then you're talking a different story. But here, people can have ambition and so on. And this is the thing. People can have ambition in different ways. Like, let's say someone says, okay, well, my lifestyle cost me $2,800. I can save an extra $1,200 per month. And now I have plenty of time to have ambition towards other things. Maybe the person likes to build stuff. Maybe the person's a very competitive snooker player. Is that what they call in the UK? Or a pool player or a bowling player. And he wants to spend more time doing that. So ambition can manifest in a lot of different ways than just money. Or maybe the person wants to have a really big family. And they're like, you know what? I want to teach our kids. I want to assist my wife or significant other, whatever the situation is, and have a lot of kids. And we have enough money. I've calculated it, and we're going to have another 1,000 left, or who knows however much left. There are a bunch of different situations, and I don't like the idea that the attachment of ambition is money. I do not like that whatsoever, and I completely disagree with that because like a lot of professors, a lot of researchers, the people that bring us breakthroughs, their ambition is not money. They're just like, okay, I need enough money from some rich dudes that I
hate to break it to you, anything that you're really good at in one way or another is going to manifest itself into a physical form of money. We're just going to finish this video. I'm going to shut up. We're going to finish the video.
can continue to do my research. And that's all they're thinking about. Yet they're the ones that are giving us breakthroughs that are changing our lives. And I don't want to say music isn't changing our lives, but let's keep it real. Trap music did not heal anybody. It did not take anybody out of the grave. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Does Sonny Digital have a point? I personally just think he's out of touch, and I think there's a little bit of they're talking in different directions. Like Sonny Digital is not I think he's expressing himself accurately, but I think he expects people to not understand what he's saying, understand his point of view and agree with his point of view, which they're not. Sonny Digital hasn't been like one of these people in well over a decade. So no, he cannot relate, because people are like, okay, so what is a person supposed to do? And what employers, especially an employer, because people don't want to take the risk. Most people, they want to have what seems like security in a job. And then he says, oh, it's a lot of jobs. Like, you go figure it out. So if the answer to something is go figure it out, that means it's difficult and it's not easy. Because if somebody says, yo, like, how do I become a doctor? You're like, well, you go to college, and then after college, you go to medical school, and then after medical school, you do this, and then you become a doctor. But if you got to say, shoot, you go figure it out, that means you don't got the answer, and that means the answer is a little bit more complicated, and there are a lot of different paths to get there, and it probably involves risk. So, yeah, he's also being no help to people.
My final thoughts on this video. At the end of the day, this is just somebody's opinion, two people's opinion actually, and this is my opinion, three people's opinion, because this is a person reacting to what was said, and I'm reacting to what both of these people said. And honestly, it's content. People are just, saying how they feel on the internet. I think the main argument and the main takeaway that I got from this is that we need to be paid more for streams, and I 100% agree with that. To understand that the people who are making these streaming platforms have a lot of people to pay that make them work. So you have to look at it from every angle if you're really gonna talk about this topic. I understood what Sonny was saying about how that 4K is not enough for like certain lifestyles that motherfuckers is trying to live. And I also understand Astane's point of Yasine, fucking, I don't know this nigga's name, bro. If 4K a month from streams makes you live and float your boat, then that's, hey man, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just content. You know what I'm saying? This is a reaction to something on Twitter, and it's their opinion. But I do agree that we do need to get paid more for the Spotify streams, though. So shout out everybody in this video. We gotta stick together as music people. Regardless, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Cam out this month.